Hello, and welcome to Very Good Yoga. If we haven't met before, my name is Billy, and for today's class, you're going to need two blocks. One at the top of the mat, one somewhere at the back of the mat, and that's it. I don't know how long this class is going to be, but my goal for this is to keep it short. So that being said, let's get started and come into a Tadasana at the top of the mat. So today, let's bring the feet together for Tadasana, unless you really want to keep your feet hips width distance apart. Reach the arms overhead, or Vinyasa, hold here. So you're lifting up through your front ribs. You're lifting up through your back ribs, and then to even everything out, lift up through the side ribs. Reach the arms up so high, the only way to get taller is to press your feet into the floor. Full breath in. Uttanasana, hinge at your hips, and on an exhale, come into your fold. Hands stay on the floor as you inhale to a flat back. And on your exhale, step the right foot back, lower the back knee down, and hold in this shape. So very intentionally, keep your hands on the floor and untuck the toes. Inhale, dip your hips, lift your chest, look forwards. And on an out breath, downward facing dog. Step your left foot next to the right foot. Inhale, look forward, shift forward, come into your plank pose. Lower your knees down first. And with your butt and elbows lifted, drop your chest and chin at the same time, knees, chest, chin. So you're essentially doing the work of cow pose in your spine. The fronts of the shoulders are lifting away from the floor, and if it's okay, look forward. Inhale, slide forward into your back bend, cobra or up dog if you're ready for it. Downward facing dog. Send the hips up high, and let's hold this first, second downward facing dog. For me, I always feel that down dog is kind of like a home base. You know, it's your opportunity to arrive. It is your opportunity to rest. And then when you're ready, step your right foot forward and lower the back knee down. Keep your hands on the floor, untuck the back toes. Inhale, dip your hips, lift your chest, look forwards. Forward fold is the out breath. Step the back foot up to meet your front foot. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. Maybe hold on to the backs of your legs and pull yourself a little bit more into your thighs. Press your feet down. Inhale, come up to stand, Urdhva. Tadasana, bring the arms down by your sides. Keep it going. Inhale, lift the arms out and up. Keep lifting through the front ribs, the back ribs, the side ribs. Hinge at your hips, forward fold. Maybe bend your knees a little bit as you go. Inhale, flat back. Look forward, step your left foot back, lower the back knee down, untuck your toes. Inhale, dip your hips, lift your chest, look forwards. Downward facing dog. Step the right foot next to your left foot. Inhale, look forward, shift forward, plank pose. Lower your knees, your chest, your chin at the same time. Knees, chest, chin. Keep lifting the shoulder heads away from the floor. Inhale, slide forward to cobra or up dog if you're ready for it. Downward facing dog. Send the hips up high. Step your left foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, dip your hips, lift your chest, look forwards. Forward fold is the exhale. Step the back foot up to meet your front foot. Inhale, flat back. Exhale is fold. Leading with your head. Inhale, come up to stand or reach the arms up. Maybe look up, maybe see your palms touch. Keeping this height, come into a Tadasana with the arms by the side. So even though the arms come down, you continue to lift up through the ribs. Inhale, arms go out and up, Urdhva. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step the right foot back. Lower the back knee down. This time, low lunge. Reach both arms up into the air. Downward facing dog. Plant your palms and step your left foot next to your right foot. Inhale, look forward, shift forward, come into plank pose. Lower your knees down first, and with your butt and elbows lifted, drop your chest and chin in between your thumbs. Inhale, slide forward to back bend, cobra or up dog if you would like it. Downward facing dog, send the hips up high. Step your right foot forward, lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, low lunge. Inhale, reaches the arms up. Forward fold is the out breath. Step your back foot up to meet your front foot. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, even your neck. Exhale is full. Inhale, come up to stand, reach the arms up, maybe look up, see your palms touch, press your feet into the floor to get even taller. Tadasana, lower the arms down by the sides. Inhale, arms go out and up. Forward fold is your out breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back. Lower the back knee down. Untuck the toes. Low lunge, reach the arms up. Inhaling. Downward facing dog is the exhale. Step your right foot next to your left foot. Inhale, look forward. Shift forward, come into plank pose. Lower your knees, your chest, and your chin, but look forward with the eyes. Inhale's your back bend, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog, hips go high. Last one, left foot steps forward, right knee lowers down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, low lunge, sweep the arms up. Forward fold is the out breath. Back foot steps up to meet your front foot. Right away, inhale, flat back. Exhale is fold. Inhale, come up to stand, reach the arms up. Maybe see the palms touch and come into a Tadasana with the arms by the sides. Bring your feet together to touch, just like we did earlier in class if you've lost it. Inhale, reach the arms up high, Urdhva. Exhale, forward fold, maybe bend your knees. Inhale, flat back. This time prepares for Chaturanga. Exhale, Chaturanga to lower. Inhale's your back bend, upward facing dog. Biceps are forward, triceps are back. Downward facing dog. Send the hips up high, and let's hold this dog for about 5 rounds of breath. And again, I think a bend in your knees and down dog is a great idea. I think there's a perception about downward facing dog that it's supposed to be this perfect triangle or pyramid shape or whatever you want to call it. Not like the shape, not the yoga pose, right? But what I'm more interested in that you do is find a flat back in your down dog. So the tailbone is reaching up and back away from the crown of the head. But meanwhile, the crown of the head is reaching towards the space between your thumbs as much as it can. Inhale, down dog. On empty, look forward, bend into the knees, hop, step, or flat to a forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale is fold. Leading with the crown of the head. Inhale, come up to stand, reach the arms up. Maybe see the palms touch and come into a Tadasana with the arms by the sides. Whoa. 2 more rounds like that. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Forward fold is the exhale. Inhale, flat back. Look forward, and on your out breath, chaturanga to lower. Take an extra moment in your chaturanga. So when you cannot exhale anymore, inhale to back bend, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. We breathe. Keep the gaze right in between your feet. Your heels are lengthening down, the thighs are lifting up. Full breath in. And on empty, look forward, bend into the knees, hop, spring, or step to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale is full. Press your feet down. Inhale, come up to stand. Reach the arms up as high as you can. Tadasana, bring the arms down by your sides. Last full round. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, prepares you for chaturanga. And on the out breath, chaturanga to lower. Inhale, find your back bend, Urdhva Mukha, thighs are lifting. And on the exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. It's not terribly complex with these movements or this sequencing, right? It's fairly traditional. So just starting to put ourselves in a rhythm, a groove, if you will. Bringing us present, linking some breath to movement. Full breath in. And at the bottom of your exhale, look forward, bend into the knees, hop, spring, or step to your forward fold. So as soon as you get there, you gotta inhale to a flat back. Exhale is fold. Inhale, come up to stand, reach the arms up high. See the palms touch and come into a Tadasana with the arms by the sides. Close the eyes and stand tall at the top of the mat. So just taking a brief moment of inventory. And maybe all of a sudden you can already notice a shift or maybe even a buzzing in your body. Reach the arms back up into the ceiling, Urdhva. And then bend into the knees, sink the hips low and come into a chair pose, Utkatasana. So as you bend into your knees, as you sink your hips and your legs low to the floor, continue to lift out of the belly, the ribs, the arms, and the fingertips. Find that sensation of trying to go in two separate directions. One more breath. Belly to thighs, hands to the floor, straighten out the legs, last and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And on the out breath, chaturanga to lower. Inhale your back bend, Urdhva Mukha. And on the exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Ground your left heel down and step your right foot forward. Warrior one, just one breath. Inhale, come up to stand. Exhale, chaturanga to lower. Inhale your back bend, Urdhva Mukha. Press your toenails down really well. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Listen carefully. Ground your left heel down and step that same right foot forward. Warrior one. Inhale, come up to stand. This time, exhale. Cactus your arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and find an interlace at your lower back. Inhale, reach your knuckles low. Lift the heart and the chest up high. Humble your warrior. Bow your torso to the inside of the front right leg. So your gaze is at the back of the mat towards your inner left heel. If you're a little wider in the shoulders, you'll go a little wider in your stance. And notice if you're sticking your right butt out, right hip back, left hip forward. Warrior one, inhale, come up to stand. And open to warrior two, 5 breaths. And you're gonna have to go a little bit longer in your warrior two stance. Make sure that your hands are over your feet and ankles. And don't forget about your left leg and arm. Straighten the back leg more. And hug the outer left hip in. Go lower in your legs as you inhale, reverse, tip back. Exhale, plank to chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale, find your back bend, upward facing dog. Legs are strong here. Downward facing dog. Send the hips up high. Ground your right heel down and step your left foot forward. If you're Vajrasana A, inhale, come up. Exhale, chaturanga to lower. Inhale, finds back bend, upward facing dog. And on your out breath, downward facing dog. Right heel down, left foot forward. Warrior one, inhale, come up. Exhale, cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and find an interlace at the lower back with the opposite thumb on top. Inhale, reach the knuckles low, lift the heart and the chest up. And on your out breath, humble your warrior. Bring the shoulder to the inside of the left thigh. You could rest the shoulder on top of the thigh if you want to modify. Sorry I didn't say that on the last side. Your gaze is at your inner right heel. And notice where your left butt is. Left hip back, right hip forward. Warrior one, inhale, come up to stand. Open to warrior two. Go a little longer with your footing. And reach the index fingers away from one another. Firm the outer right hip in. Straighten out the back right leg. So it's almost like you're in Tadasana in the back. Go even lower in your legs as you inhale, reverse. Exhale, plank to chaturanga, lower. Inhale, find your back bend, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog, breathing for 5. 4. 3. 2. Full breath in on 1. On empty, look forward, bend to the knees, hop, spring, or step. Come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale is full. Inhale, come up to stand or reach the arms up. Tadasana, bring the arms down by your sides. Bring your feet together once again. And reach the arms up into the air so you have that sensation of Urdhva Hasta. Lift your heels off the floor so you're just bouncing on the toes and the balls of the feet. And then with your heels lifted, what if I asked you to continue to lift up and out of the belly and ribs? So it's almost like you're resisting the lowering as you bend into your knees and start to sink your hips to your heels. So keep lifting up with the torso, almost like I'm pulling you by the wrist to the ceiling. But keep bending into your knees and try to sit down into this variation of chair. Keep your heels lifted and come up to stand into that initial position of this modified Urdhva. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Keep your heels lifted. Keep lifting out of the belly, the ribs, and the arms as you bend into your knees and try to sink your hips to your heels. So you're not just trying to come down into a squat for the sake of coming into a squat. I want you to find that sensation of going up and down. Straighten out your legs once you've gotten to the bottom if you haven't already. Last one. Go up with your belly, ribs, and arms. Keep your heels lifted. Start to bend into your knees and try to sink your hips low. You might not even go that far. And folks, that's just fine. Come up to stand. Hold at the top a little bit longer. Press your butt forward. Reach your hips forward. And then keeping your hips in the position they're in right now, lower your heels and come into a Tadasana with the arms by the sides. Oh my goodness, I am sweating bullets, you guys. Please step your right foot to the back of the mat. So we're going to make our way into a pyramid pose setup facing the back of the room. You kind of have to really shuffle to get there, I know. Place your right hand on your right hip and lift the left arm up into the air. Lift out of your left hip. Find the Urdhva in your left arm as you inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Reach your left arm forward. Reach your left arm forward and make your way into a revolved triangle pose. So your left hand will find a block either inside or outside of the front foot. The right arm reaches up into the air. Or if this is interesting to you, swim the top arm forward so the bicep is alongside the ear. Press the left hand down to turn the left rib cage to the right. Press your feet to the floor almost like you are trying to tear the yoga mat in half. 2 more breaths. Re-extend the right arm up into the ceiling. Look down to the floor and come into a revolved half moon pose. And I know this one isn't a big crowd pleaser. Notice if you're holding your breath. Notice if it's become short and choppy. Press the left hand down to lift across your chest. And keep reaching the crown of the head forward. 1 more inhale. You are out of there. Forward fold is the exhale. Bring both feet and hands down onto the floor. With bent knees, let's just roll our way up to stand and come into a Tadasana. Second side, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Bring your legs into a pyramid setup. So now you're facing the original front of the room and the left foot is in front of you. Place your left hand on your left hip. Reach the right arm up into the ceiling just like you would do an Urdhva. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Revolve your triangle pose, but be slow with the descent. If you've taken my class before, you've probably heard me say this before, but for me, I think a lot of the magic that comes from yoga practice comes from really slow and controlled transitions. If you'd like to add on the left arm, reach it up or possibly even forward. You know, it's when we're patient between point A and point B where I think we are extra involved. You know, we're not just moving through poses, but we're really thinking about what we're doing with our feet, our legs, our torso, our arms, the entire body. 2 more breaths. And then go ahead and lift the left arm up into the air. Look down at the floor and revolve your half moon. So walk the right hand forward just a little bit. It might be off your yoga mat, and that's totally okay. Press the right hand down. So you're trying to get the torso sideways with the floor, but wrap the outer left hip back. Full breath in. Forward fold is the exhale. Step your right foot onto the floor and frame your feet with your hands. With bent knees, slowly roll up to stand and come into a Tadasana at the top of the mat. Okay. Last standing pose. Step your right foot to the back of the mat and parallel your feet with the short edges of the mat. For just a moment, reach your arms out left and right to measure out your straddle shape so that your hands and wrists are over the feet and the ankles. Bring your hands back to your hips and start to squeeze the elbows together, almost like you're doing camel pose in the upper body. Press your feet down, lift the heart and the chest up. Try to keep your back bent for as long as you can. Hinge at your hips and fold. Eventually your hands will come down to the floor. So the idea is to start with the back bend. Try to keep the back bend as you end up in a forward bend. Maybe bend into the elbows like a chaturanga. And if you know Shalabhasana, you're more than welcome to take it for about 5 to 8 rounds of breath. Very intentionally, I will not be demoing that one today. Last few breaths. Inhale to your flat back. Hands on your hips, squeeze the shoulders together and come up to stand. Please step back to a Tadasana at the top of the mat. So the right foot will come up to meet the left foot. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Forward fold is the out breath. Inhale your flat back. Exhale, plank, chaturanga, vinyasa, or maybe you skip it but come into downward facing dog. Look forward and shift forward to come into a plank pose. On an exhale, come all the way down to the belly. So setting up for just 2 back bends here today. Untuck your toes and begin to reach your arms back. So coming into a Shalabhasana first. Lift your knees, lift your shoulders, lift your feet, and lift your hands. It's almost like you're holding a yoga block the long way in between your palms over your butt. And option 1 is you stay right here. Option 2, keep pressing your butt into the floor and bend into your knees. If the shins are available to you, grab them and kick up into a bow pose. So with your bow, the inner thighs lift up to the ceiling. And your mission here is to try to get your feet and your toes and your heels as the highest points of the body up into the air. So the thighs are really well lifted off the floor. Shalabhasana, come out with stability, inhaling. Keep the shoulders lifted, but exhale, bring the hands by the ribs. Inhale to a back bend, up dog or cobra if you want it. Downward facing dog with the hips up high. So we come into the bow with stability, we come out of the bow with stability. Inhale, look forward, shift forward, plank pose. And on your out breath, lower to the floor. Untuck your toes, Reach your arms back, Shalabhasana. Lift the feet, shoulders, knees, and feet off the floor. If this was good for you on the first side, reach the arms back, grab the outsides of the shins, and kick well up into the ceiling. Maybe you can get a little bit higher on this second side. So again, the feet, the toes, the heels, those are the highest points of the body up in the air. Shalabhasana, take an inhale. Exhale, lower, bring your hands by your shoulders. Inhale to your back bend, cobra or up dog if you want it. Downward facing dog, send the hips up high. Make your way into a comfortable seat, please. Straighten the legs out in front of you. Excuse me. As we set up for our seated forward fold, you might sit on a blanket, or if you're anything like me, you actually grab the fleshy parts of the butt to better root yourself into the floor. With a long spine, walk your hands forward and fold. Maybe go overhand grip on the toes and the balls of the feet. But if you're struggling to grab your feet, or even if you can grab your feet, but it still feels like a lot of work, keep a bend at the knees. Like I think sometimes, I know I did this for years when we're in yoga class and the instructor says something like grab your feet, we think to ourselves like, I can do it, and then we grab them, but we barely have them. So this creates stress in the body. And we actually get tighter when we do things like that, which is like the opposite of why we come to yoga in the first place, right? Take a few more rounds of breath here. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, upright your seat. And make your way down onto your back for a Shavasana. And of course, if you guys have anything at home that you would like to use for your Shavasana, maybe it's a bolster, maybe it's blocks, strap over the eyes. Take a moment to get yourself situated here. Close your eyes and settle. So setting yourself up in a shape where you won't fidget and you can just be. Full breath in. And on an exhale, open up the mouth and release. No more work. No more effort. Shavasana. to make your way back to the surface, deepening your breath. Start to invite some smaller movements back into the body, wiggling your fingers, your toes, your hands, maybe even your feet. On an inhale, find a full body stretch. Reach the arms overhead, the feet to the front, finding length and space between your shoulders and hips. Bend into your knees. Bring your hands to the fronts of your shins. And keeping the eyes closed. And using as little effort as possible, please make your way up into a comfortable seat facing your monitors. To seal in your practice, please bring your hands to a prayer position at your heart. Full breath in. Open up the mouth. Exhale to release. Thumb knuckles to your forehead, your third eye center. Thank you for sharing your practices with me today. Go in peace. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. That is it for me for today. But as always, before you go, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. And if you guys have questions, if you have comments, concerns, or even feedback, let me know in the comment section below. That's it. Hope to see you soon, and thank you so much. Bye.